Ladies and gents, welcome back. Episode 59 of the Away Day Show. The two blondes and a black head.
Garnacho.
Garnacho and then Tommy Yasu.
Angry Grinch. Tommy Yasu.
Tommy Yasu. And we got Ziza over there with the Juventus kid on.
Ziza.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. Yeah, another podcast. A bit quieter this week with the FA Cup stuff going on.
Yep.
So a few games to go through. Got a most improved 11 to go through as well, which was tough work. We all found
hard
out.
to put the four defenders
Yeah.
down.
But yeah, it's sort of a weekend. I was sort of saying like what I learnt was just the good teams won and the shit teams lost sort of thing. Like, I think we're starting to realise the bottom three are the bottom three, just the way things all worked out.
They're only given a 5 back, but it's it's too little too late.
It's just they're not there. Like the result was good, but the Sheffield United were just
It's
bad.
also like, let me get the ladder up, because when you factor in the points deductions as well. So what, Forest have lost?
Like Forest lost 4 and West Ham 8. Everton lost 6.
Oh, 8, didn't they get an extra?
Another 2. You have to go with that.
Whether it is 8 or 6, then you're looking at if it was 4 and you're looking at a 5-point gap between Forest and Luton, right? And then you're looking at if Everton are on 8, then it's 10 points between Brentford and Luton.
Ridiculous.
So it's like the gap is just massive.
Yeah.
Right?
We were hoping for something.
Yeah.
But I just think what I've realised, there's not good enough.
When we review our ladder predictions, like it's a bit of a cop out, but like keep our Burnley prediction of them getting 12 or 14 or whatever was purely like passion merchant. Someone someone's got to stay up.
Yeah. Where's the Fulham of this year?
Because in past years it's always been like, nah, all 3 go down.
Yeah.
And
and we got Fulham just did us a bit, I think.
Yeah,
the Fulham story.
And then when you look at that, like on paper though, they can't. If anyone's going to do that, it's going to be Burnley. Yeah, because Burnley have attempted to come in the league and play their own way, and it hasn't worked. Yeah, but that's what Fulham did like 2 years before they got promoted
but they had
again.
Mitro, that's the problem, right?
Yeah, they're going to need some Premier League quality. I think Asagnon's good.
He's good.
He's coming on well.
Yeah,
like Lyle Foster's. I don't think that guy. I know he scored, but he's not that guy.
No, dude,
they're going to have to go to another level, Burnley, if they are to come straight back up.
Yeah,
but just no one had the quality this year.
Absolutely.
How does that indicate for you for next season, your predictions? Do you think, like, at the start of the season?
Who's going to come up?
Only thing, I'm going to do it again. I'll probably, if Leicester come up, I'll back them in.
But Leicester are a Premier League club.
And they've got Premier League players.
And the biggest thing, they've got like Pep's right-hand dude from like 3 years ago.
But it's not just that. Most of the players that got relegated are still there. And I know they got relegated, but like, we're not talking... They're still Premier League players.
They still got
the likes. They lost their heart and soul.
I don't know. They still got the likes of Ndidi there.
The big sign was Mavadidi from I think Marseille.
Who's keeping for them now?
A young dude.
It's not on the bloody fantasy.
No.
What was his name?
They've still got
everyone had him in though. Everyone brought him in.
Bro, this guy sucked.
They've still got a lot of quality.
Honestly, was like 30%
though. I know he's old, but like Jamie Vardy's still there, and he's pushing.
He's a troll merchant.
Iheanacho's there.
You gotta love odds. Yeah, Iheanacho's.
He's definitely a Premier League player.
Daka's that guy from this year. Daka's been.
That's what I'm saying. They've still got Ndidi's still there.
I think for them,
Ndidi was a player that was pivotal, and they're making top 4 under Brendan Rodgers.
I think Ndidi was overrated though. Like obviously he was,
but he's not a relegation player. He's not a championship player.
Yeah, but I think he's
I think he's not as quick as everyone thought.
He also was a turnover merchant. Yeah, but
you're right though. In many regards, they've got the Premier League player. They got like Harry Winks.
They have names there, which Burnley.
Even the guy, what's the guy's name from Marseille?
Mavadis. This guy was like top talent, English talent that went to France. He's come back and he's been really good.
Like we're comparing like the closest thing Burnley had was like Sanderberg and Ndidi.
Yeah.
And then like buddy Charlie
Taylor.
Yeah,
he's been there for ages. Yeah.
Rodriguez.
So I back them. I think
Rodriguez and Vardy.
There's a lot of even Iheanacho. That bloke's a City player. He played for City and played games.
He was one of Pep's young guys he brought in initially. So there's talent. So I think I'll go again and back one team to be around it, which would be not as high.
The problem is also though is that like I look at the Prem teams who are here, like the teams who are staying up, and who's going to drop from them?
That's the problem. We see. I'll get into them in a bit.
Everton,
but Brentford this season were dodgy for a bit, but now they look like back to Brentford of old. They're just smacking teams.
Like Everton are a Premier League club. Like I think they bottomed out.
But it just but it just depends who they sign. If they keep,
but they would be like 13th, 14th if they had their 8 points.
That's true.
Like,
yeah, but you also got to understand.
I think Forest are the one.
It's also hard as well that a lot of the points from the teams above have been easy points from the teams below.
That's definitely
which
true.
Probably won't be like.
But on paper, it's just hard to see.
You can't see anyone else.
You can't pick like who's gonna. It's not. There's no like standout bad team.
No, but you've seen in the past like. When Leeds dropped down, you didn't expect them to drop down.
Someone's going to drop out. Who's going to do it? It's hard to. I mean, who's going to come out? Leicester,
Leeds, and Ipswich looking like it. Ipswich is second right now.
Ipswich is going to be the one, like the bit of the Luton, but they're playing good football and they're a bit like Burnley that they don't have big names.
The problem is
Massimo Luongo is running through their midfield.
The problem is though they've made all
is he a Premier League player?
They've made all the comeback wins. They've used all like their passion wins, or I feel like they just like come back. They've got the most points in I think world football from substitutes. Like coming out of winning games,
yeah.
They score goals in 88th and 90th.
They're going to be.
They're going to run out of steam.
Like they're going to go down.
They're going to be 20th.
Like,
I feel like that's
they're
going to be the one that go down.
Apparently, they've got a little bit of funding. Like at the first 6 months of the season, first 6 months of the season, they had Brandon Williams there, who was tearing up, like actually tearing up. He's back at United now, not getting a game, so don't know why he's not back out on loan. But like he's a signing that I can guarantee they're going to make if they get promoted.
But that's not going to win you like he was at Norwich.
But they'll make a couple. They'll make a couple other players. They're like. I think they'll go and poach a lot of like academy youngsters.
We saw how that's worked for
like Cam Weiler. I think like
but look what happens to Brentford.
They've got a very big.
Brentford
their coach is McKenna, who's got a very big connection to.
But the problem
United.
is Burnley did the exact same thing this year. They signed a shit ton of 21-year-olds, and look where they're sitting.
But 21-year-olds from where? Because I don't think
from academies around the country.
Yeah, but not big academies.
So Southampton could come up.
Sounding cool, but I think they've.
So how's it work? First and second come up.
First, second automatic, and then playoffs.
So there's a bit to play for then. Okay, so the top six is pretty locked in.
It's locked in already, I think. Yeah. So the only thing that could break in, Southampton, they're probably in the best form. But knowing those
West Brom and Norwich.
Those top three, Norwich and West Brom are just average. They're not great. So it's going to be those 14 out of them. But again, you're right. Other than for maybe Nottingham Forest and if shit hits the fan again, Everton, who else drops in?
Wow, how's Watford fall?
Well, yeah, Leeds. Wow. Yeah, but Leeds and Leicester both have good squads still.
I feel like Leeds,
put it this way.
Have a good squad still.
Leeds and Leicester both have squads which are way better than the bottom three at the moment. Like significantly.
But we're saying
they have the Premier League names.
We're saying next year though, what is the difference?
Yeah.
Thomas Frank just finds how to get results, right? Like
you're completely
Sean
right.
Dyche.
I don't think it'll be a lot closer. It'll be more like last year's.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. But I just don't see
like
many
my
of them
early
surviving.
predictions, really early, is I personally would rule out Everton going down. I just think Everton bottomed out.
New stadium, Dyche second season.
They bottomed out. They had like Dominic Calvert-Lewin is too good for a relegation
game at the moment.
No, but like in terms of like
when
he's fit and actually playing, like players like DCL, like Idrissa Gana-Gueye, like
even last like Gana-Gueye scores, right? That's just
like Pickford's England's first choice keeper. Like like it or not, he is their first choice keeper.
And when it all at the end of the season, Picks turns up and DCL turns up.
Like there's Everton for me.
They had a great young
like almost off the board of going down. Like as we said, those 8 points. There's been so much turmoil at that club over the last few years. For me, that club like they can only go up.
Yeah.
Forest for me at the moment are the only ones that like look as if they really lack cohesion. Like you got players like Chris Wood playing out of their skin right now. Like how long are they going to maintain that?
Exactly.
There's an element of like sort of kind of like I don't know, just like I lack faith in how long Forest could like maintain that. But look, these are just massive early predictions. But it's an interesting discussion because the gap is getting bigger between.
Feels like it
between staying up in the Prem seems to have such a massive impact on clubs' long-term future.
Yeah.
Then like yo-yoing, it's just so hard to cement.
I think yo-yos will exist much from in the future.
Well, you have 3 come and go.
Yeah,
but
I feel like now championship
being able to stay is going to get so much harder.
And staying is going to be so hard as well. Perfectly led up to the first game of the weekend, which was Sheffield United 1, Burnley 4. If I'm not mistaken, it's one of the worst home records ever now in the Premier League season. I think outside of Derby, who was at the bottom points ever, I think they're now I think either equal or like
they got to be like bottom three.
The home form is ridiculous. It's just.
So Derby had 11, if we're not mistaken. Is that right?
16.
Yeah. I think they're talking about, I read somewhere about the home points gained is just like...
That's already 50%.
Oh, mate, you are in strife. If you're a team coming up and you're looking to stay up...
You have to be good at home.
You need to be rock solid at home. Like, you need to be... Like, at least Luton have given off the demeanour that they're really good at home. Yeah. I don't know if the stats back that up. But
they've been close.
It feels like when you go to Luton though, it's
tough,
like, there's something there. Yeah. Like the fans are going to get around, and the stadium's a little bit ratchet. Like,
like back garden.
There's something there,
which
gives you a little bit of a concern. Whereas going away to Sheffield feels like a walk in the park.
Like, the fans better.
There's just nothing there.
Empty. It's
it's just
on the second goal just summed it up. I think it was second or first. Like the keeper basically the ball p-rolled past him. The keeper got down and the ball just. Like trickled past him. I thought that just summed them up this season.
Where's isn't even playing anymore?
Nah,
it's
this other dude's in goal.
Morich or something.
That's for Burnley, but for Sheffield United, I'm saying.
Oh, sorry.
Their keeper, like I don't know.
Because Trafford got dropped.
Yeah. Who was their keeper on the? But this was like awful keeping. Like Ivo Grubric.
Grubric. Yeah.
It's.
I actually thought he made a couple good saves though.
But the second goal, right? Why did I write it down? No, it was second. I think it was second goal. Yeah, it literally p-rolled past.
I don't think who scored that.
It was like it was a volley that was just. I was like, where's the keeper going to be? I think it was Brun last one. Like the midfielders came through and volleyed. I was like, if anything summarised Sheffield United season,
Aston scored there first. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
that was a good goal. I remember
good little run, little interplay.
That made me think. Yeah, he's cut out. That's right. The second one, Aston passed it, and it was like
he towed the thing, but then Burnley were good, but again, I think that's the difference. That Sheffield United are so bad, Burnley a little bit better,
and it just shows like what Burnley did in the championship last year. Just bullied everyone.
This is a championship side, and they just showed what they did last season. So I think we had hope for Luton or Burnley, but I guess the moral of the story is they're better than each other, but they're just not good enough for Premier League. I guess that's the thing, the learning thing. Does anyone else trust? Like you said, does Ipswich trust academy players or?
Yeah, that's going to be the thing that's only going to tell. But
what I like about Burnley though is I think the only way, and I was massive on this earlier in the year about how you find success in the league, and even it's kind of contradictory to what I say about Ten Hag, because I just don't think Ten Hag's the guy, right? But I think if you want to have long-term sustained success, you need to persevere with someone, and I like that they've gone in with company.
I love it.
We're talking about wanting sustained success in the Prem. Maybe you need that year of experience to figure out. You need the year of maybe they're going to stick with this squad now, and even though they haven't proven to be Premier League players yet, they've now got a year of Premier League under their belt. Yeah. They're going to pick and choose the ones who suit and fit.
Yep.
And I like the fact that they've stayed with company, and it actually makes me more confident to think that look. It's hard to just go down and just run a mark through the championship and come straight. It's easier said than done, right?
It's a very hard league.
But if they do that and make the right reinforcements and keep company and it all goes well, I would actually have a lot of faith in them coming back up again and following that Fulham mould more so as we thought this year.
Like I think the signs of their midfield and forwards, it's just the back. Like we said every single week that mistakes have cost them a result. They were leading versus Brighton 2 weeks ago. They gave away the win versus Everton. Muric kicked it into if they just fix the keeper and they fix 2 centre backs, what's saying they could have gotten 5 or 6 more points?
So what are they on? They're on 25 points.
Something, yeah.
Oh no, they're only on 23.
How many off were they from Luton?
They're on 23, and you sort of want.
But if you bring those guys in next season and learn the championship,
33 is like a good number, to stay up.
30. I think it's almost high now, but
they're not completely.
They're gone. They're gone.
No. Look, they actually. Luton actually aren't because they're only 1 point behind.
Well, Forest, bottom yesterday.
I just keep 23.
So they're only 3 points off, but
no.
I just keep looking at it though, as in
you always look at 30 points as a magic number.
Forest would be on 30 right now, and Everton would be on 38. As in. Pretty much all these teams historically are safe.
Yeah.
30 points. Forest actually still definitely can go down. You're actually 100% right.
But looking at Forest, remember we looked at Forest's fixtures and we looked at Luton's fixtures. Luton's had to win the home games, and I guess that's perfect for the next game. They lost that home game as well. That's the problem.
Burnley have United,
wouldn't rule that out.
Newcastle. Spurs.
Yeah, we said this last week. The bottom.
Burnley Forest on the last day.
That's to be highlighted. It could be the only way if something miracle
And then
happens.
Luton, Fulham. Fulham are going to be so beached.
Oh,
Mate, they're going to be like in the Maldives. They're going to be in Ibiza. Like
they're Coachella at the moment. They're just
know.
chilling.
Luton have Everton as well. They actually
Luton need to win their home games.
they're just in such bad form.
Yeah, they can't win.
Like
They just can't win at the moment.
they've got like one win this year.
Yeah, I mean that was the one comeback win they had.
They got
But
spanked by Brentford.
But I guess that's the next game. They got
Yeah,
beaten.
is that the next game?
Yeah, they got beaten 5-1, and then no one likely. Mate, in Burmo and Vissa, they turned up. In
How
this
good
game.
was this first goal?
Oh, ridiculous!
Oh my god,
Just
that
smacked
first
it.
touch.
Just smacked.
So I was thinking about Paul Kaminsky. Jesus
Yeah, it
Christ,
doesn't do him.
that was insane. Like
And Burma got 2 assists, which was just like pinpoint the to players.
that goal was what that goal made me think of was like wow. Like we always talk about how good the top players are, but like if you're in the even how bad Sheffield are. If you're in the Premier League, bro, these guys are every single one of them is a baller.
Yeah,
like every single one of these players would absolutely chop in like the A League.
Bro, the thing is, obviously with that, the thing is though, the problem as fans is we only compare them to complete freaks.
You're comparing
we're only comparing them to like KDB.
Yeah, obviously.
Foden, and the problem is the drop off between those freaks and the bottom Premier League players is that much of a drop off that we start to look at the bottom Premier League players as like they're crap. But they're really not.
Sheffield have got 16 points. Would they win every game in the Prem? Like I know that sounds retarded, but like would they?
The A-League?
Yeah, in the A-League.
For sure.
Like would they just spank every team like 6-0?
They'd stroll it.
Well, I think
most of the leagues
every championship team
That's what it's like it's insane.
would win the A-League.
Yeah, no. That sounds dumb to say, but in terms of like
Sheffield could throw some hands in French league.
would just
I think they worked this out one time. So it's like A-League clubs, the better A-League clubs would be like mid-table League One clubs.
League One. Oh my god.
So like
it makes sense.
The poorer A-League clubs would probably still be in League One, but they'd be fighting relegation.
I mean, it's just mental. Like Sheffield
not pushing League
got
Two.
16 points.
Sheffield could cause some problems, and not like winning things, but just mid-table.
I'll give you an
leagues.
example.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I'll give you a key example to start us off. I was reading about like the League Two salaries, and we saw that like there was one specific club that just went up.
Yeah.
That was a lot higher than the rest of the. You guys know what I'm talking about. And they were paying €175,000 salary a week in League Two.
Yeah,
there's no A-League club paying 175,000, so 300,000 Australian a week.
But they get double that a year. The best players in the A-League get like...
Nah, there's some A-League players like Adam Taggart and stuff would probably be on close to $1 million.
Yeah. Okay, so they get 4 weeks worth of wages then.
No, I'm not saying one person's on 175,000. I'm saying the squad.
Oh.
But still, I'm saying that's
in League Two. Yeah, okay.
No, that's huge. That's 300,000 Australian a week.
Fans already hate that. Some clubs do that. So
The A-League would be on average probably like 50,000. Not even probably. Yeah. So like, I'm pretty sure they pay the A-League something like most clubs are on. It's like a $6.5 million average a year.
Annual. Yeah,
Annual. Okay. So if you're doing 300,000, what's that?
That's actually a decent salary cap compared to like off topic, but compared to the AFL.
More good money.
Like, because you would think that the AFL is 10 times bigger.
Yeah. You need it though.
I know. I mean,
but then you got the problem. When you bring in the AFL, the problem is the AFL can only compete with itself. You don't have like someone poaching Nick Dacos from America or someone poaching Nick Dacos from Spain.
It's also not
like
private.
every talent that's happened is gone
if it was
away.
private, then you could afford more. And
like Ewan Kunda's like the new star, and he's already gone to Bayern. Like it's like
that's insane though.
That could be a very dangerous signing. Not signing, sorry, like for Irukunda though. You've seen a lot of these Australian players, they go to these bigger clubs. The better ones are the ones that go to like...
Yeah, you think like Aaron Moy and Matt Ryan.
Yeah, they go to like
the ones who become household
bottom Premier League teams, bottom Bundesliga teams.
Away.
Like even a Lecky went to Hertha, I'm pretty sure. Did Lecky play at Hertha Berlin? If I'm pretty sure. Yeah, okay.
He made a career himself. He was one of the...
That's what I'm saying, but what with Irukunda is, the bloke, no matter how good he is, ain't playing for Bayern.
He'll play Bundesliga 2 next season.
No, they might someone on the 90th minute and get a banger.
Yeah, but that's the problem.
Remember
play
when they posted
Bundesliga 2, he's probably good enough to go play like relegation, mid-table Bundesliga.
If Bayern are buying him,
they're buying to loan him.
Yeah,
they're
well,
buying him
but he's
to make
obviously
money.
good enough to play.
Yeah, they've seen him.
Yeah,
Nah, a lot of these, even like
not for
Bayern
stuff. He's not good enough to play for Bayern, but he's good enough to like play
in these top leagues.
Yeah,
they would have left him sit and
he must be.
He
It's the same with like the City Group. Why City Group own Melbourne City now? Because these teams, they go and buy players like Irakunda. I think Irakunda's like 3 mil.
I think 1.75 he got signed for in the end.
I thought he was higher.
No, it wasn't that much.
Okay, but let's say 1.75. That will go 1.75. Let's try to get 6-7 mil out of him. Yeah. Happy days. It's even like Roma when they got Volpato there. Roma got Volpato for nothing.
Bag of
then they were
chips.
like, okay, we played him a little bit to get him a bit of money, sold him for 12 mil.
We've gone on a tangent here.
Yeah. The point being, what was the point being?
Oh, the point was, would
how bad Sheffield are.
United
Okay, it was
undefeated.
Bad hypothetical, but in terms of like, it's just to show the levels. Like, Johan Visser scored a banger.
Oh, yeah, Visser banger.
And then it made me think of like how, like, despite the gap between the best and worst, every single one of these guys is insane. Like,
for sure.
And they get mates look like, clowns.
Even the Sheffield players.
Well, I've got to be honest.
Bro. Even.
Well,
like, these guys are insane.
We've clowned them every week, it feels like. But yeah, they're great. Like, great. And I guess for this point.
Well, we've clowned them every week, but then they go chop in the championship.
Yeah.
And it's like.
The way we'll go.
And then. Yeah, it's insane. It's just insane.
The biggest thing I thought, like, Tony hasn't played the last few weeks now. I think they're obviously gig ready for life that Tony, but Visser and Burma just.
So where's Tony going?
Well, apparently he's only going to go for 40 mil, which amazes me because we're going back 6 months a year. Everyone was like 100 mil. And then I don't know what's happened now. Like,
too big for his boots, mate. Oh, I'm going to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Shush, man.
Get easy, mate.
Shush.
Like, who's actually going to take him? Like, would Arsenal take him for 40 mil?
100% 40 mil.
I think for 40 mil.
Every Premier League team we're putting an offer for 40 mil. It's about where he wants to go.
I think for 40 mil, it becomes more like as in...
He chooses his destination, it feels like.
Like, we can essentially swap Jesus for Tony.
And you get a better player for your system.
And we get... Yeah. Despite maybe, I think, like, I borderline think Jesus, like, they offer different things. And they're good in their own right. For what we need, Tony for 40 mil. Like, if we could swap Tony for Jesus, 100%.
Yeah. That fixes all your problems, it feels like.
And we could ship Jesus for 40 mil.
Easy.
And then we can
Send him to Brazil for 40 mil.
We definitely get him. But I don't know whether we do actually get him. Like, we definitely want it. We definitely offer that. Yeah. But I don't know whether we actually go.
A lot of clubs, other than for the Villas, the Bournemouths, and maybe Man City, who already have their striker.
Yeah, it's essentially, literally,
everyone will go for
essentially Villa, Bournemouth, and
City. The only teams that will not bid.
Yeah,
everyone else will bid.
United
won't bid.
Do you reckon though?
No.
United, that's stupid.
But United went and bought Mason Mount for 70 mil when you had Bruno.
So I go buy 80 mil.
I wouldn't be surprised if you overpay for Tony when you have
60 mil.
I literally wouldn't be surprised.
No, I'd say Højlund's a better player than Tony.
I think he is too, but Tony's a finisher. And what if this new manager wants just a finisher to come? I don't know. I just think those three clubs.
This new manager.
We'll touch on that when we get to United.
I don't believe it, but yeah, that's the way it looks like it. So good win for now 10 points, he said, clear of the drop zone. So Brentford are absolutely safe. And all those people questioning Thomas Franco, a bunch of lunatics, I think.
Thomas Franco.
Thomas Franco.
Oi, I think.
Did I say Franco?
Thomas Franco.
Next game, your boys. Wolves 0, Arsenal 2. This was just classic Arsenal. They just defended so well and scored some good goals.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about this game. But
really? I thought it was just quite clinical.
No. I thought it was good. But what it feels like is that I just had a feeling like, I think we might go and win every game from here.
Oh, he's going to give the whole vibe of you've stuffed it already and you sort of just like...
as in that little bit of pressure's now gone.
Yeah, okay.
Like there's still pressure, right? But it's not the same. And it's just like, okay, we're going to do everything we can. We're going to lose the league by 2 points.
But you've done everything else.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As in, that's the way I sort of felt. I was really confident going into this game. Like, as in,
Wolves is a hard team. It's not
Wolves are hard. Away at home, away, we've just lost to Bayern.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just wasn't nervous about this game. I just thought, like, we're going to get the job done.
Yeah. And
that's kind of the way I look at that performance. We just kind of got the job done. Like, there's not too much to say about that. We've lost one game this year.
Yeah, no.
Like, or we've lost 2 games this year now.
You said to me before air about the overreaction. Like, you said you thought you did overreact at the end of it. Because I thought, it was a bit, not just from you, but from everyone, right? Yeah. Like, obviously, the Bayern result.
About the Prem. Obviously, we lost it. Obviously, we've had a bad week.
The Bayern result doesn't
help it.
But Premier League, you can't... It's still not end of the world yet. Like you are right now top of the league.
And Brighton, like I think City got to go away to Brighton.
Brighton, yeah. And we've seen
that's not an easy game. No. Like,
the Zerbi loves a big game.
Especially, and I'll grow increasingly confident as every minute passes. I know that sounds dumb, but I think the pressure almost builds like exponentially as each minute goes. First minute you're thinking, we've got 90 minutes, just put them away here.
Yeah.
But the way it worked for us against Villa, it was like, wow, we've dominated the first 20 minutes. We haven't scored.
60 minutes ago, 70 minutes
ago. And it didn't just mount like a normal season game. It mounted like, way like
Cup final vibe.
What was at stake just made the whole spectacle feel that much bigger. And to the point where we opened up too much and we caved. And it just, I think City have been there and done this that many times, right? Brighton away, it should be a roll in the park. But you just never know. Like even though they're winning at the moment, it's not the same City team of the last few years. They're only on 70-something points. Like it's not going to be the 90-point tallies we've seen in the past few years. What's the max they can get to now? Like
six games to go?
86, 87. That's best case, right? That's 6 points off last year. That's 10, 12 points of the previous years. It's not the same City team we've seen in the past, despite them being first.
They still get 91.
What are they on?
73. And they've got 18 more points to get, right? 6 games, 3 points.
18.
18, so 91.
True.
Still get 91. That'd be ridiculous to get 91 after having a poor season.
Wow, I thought the max was 86, 87. Wow, they can get 91.
They get 91.
Yeah, wow.
Like, what can we get?
You can get 515, 90.
89.
90, no, 89. 89.
It's just that
that's not even a bad year.
It's that 9-digit in front, eh? Like that 9-digit.
You have to get 90.
Nowadays, it feels like you need to be 90 plus.
Yes. Forget 76 and 77. It has to be 90.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so, yeah. Look, we got the result.
But I think I get what you mean, though, because that's what I said last week. Playing first is massive. So you're playing 3 days earlier.
Playing first is definitely the one.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because what's his name? One pundit the other day was talking about like
knowing what's ahead of something.
About how the fixturing affects the league title race, and I actually wasn't sure though. Like is it better to play first or second? Like knowing what you need, or just going there, thinking just knowing you need like just winning, like
get the points.
Yeah, just like you obviously need to win both games, but like. But I think the way I've felt the last few weeks that playing first is where you want to be. It's just that little bit less pressure. It feels like you just play a bit more freedom. And
I just think your last game was the worst case. Now City had won, Liverpool literally lost an hour before. Yeah. So it's like, oh, this is it. Like and it all just gets like too much. So
sad.
Yeah, they're still both teams are still in it. I'm still believing it's gonna be at least close to end the season off. Odegaard back on the score.
It'll probably go to the last day.
I think it will. And it would be a case of, again...
It's going to be Aguero.
Like I say, most seasons, it'll be like Liverpool, Arsenal leading at half time, and then City will score 4.
Who's it going to be? Haaland?
Yeah, like that year, 2-0.
Yeah, they're down 2-0 for Aston Villa.
No, to West Ham, wasn't it?
It was Aston Villa. Was it Aston Villa they were down to? And
Liverpool
it was Villa. Because remember, Gerrard was at Villa. And
it was Villa.
Yeah, Gerrard's on the ultimate reverse slip. And then he win Liverpool the league.
Oh, yep.
And then they just scored 4 goals, like nothing. Gundogan, Bernardo, all of them.
I was at Cass watching that, yeah.
Yeah, because Coutinho scored that belter.
Yeah, everyone's like, the former Reds are helping out the Reds, and then they just bottled it.
That's mental.
That's what City do. I would say Odegaard on the score sheet, though, again, which is good. He's had to, getting those stats up and the outputs up, which is good to see. And then Trossard was good as well.
Trossard banger. I don't know if it was intentional.
It looked good, though. It came to the final. I was rating that finish a lot. All right, let's go to our first big segment because we've sort of got 7 games to go through. Most improved XI. I saw this because I was watching some NBA stuff and I put up a most improved. I was like, this is a good little get for us here. So most improved.
Are we going to do a most unimproved?
Yeah, you can do that next week.
Biggest fall offs?
Yeah, fall off 11 next week. Yes, so we'll go 1 for 1, I guess, because we all got 4-3-3, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Haven't stuffed around this week.
Yeah, 4-3-3.
Yeah, so let's go position for position.
Yeah, okay. Cool. I like doing this way.
Yeah, I'm accommodating you this way. You want to go first?
Yeah, Onana.
Go.
Do you want me to explain?
Explain.
I've got Onana as well. Okay, I think we're going to say same reason.
Yeah, like I couldn't think of a keeper that's improved from last year to this year. So I thought of a keeper that improved during the season.
Yeah, exact same reasons. Like I was looking at the ladder. This is the other thing for the note for this segment. Looking at the ladder, I was like, this year and last year, I was like, wow, it's essentially the exact same.
Feels
like the only team with big movements is West Ham.
Yeah,
you know, Brighton are about the same spot, Spurs same spot. Like, you know, Villa were good. Villa went 8th to 4th, so they've had a bit of a jump, especially into that top echelon.
It's like a United Villa swap.
Yeah,
basically.
like that's a big jump. But like Chelsea, the same. Like, you know, it's actually tough. There's been a few. Like, there's definitely some players here.
Yeah,
but the keeper one's really tough because, like, you know, you can look at Pickford, for example. We've had a lot of clean sheets, but I would agree with you. I think Onana's improvement from the start of the season to this back end warrants recognition.
I thought Onana, Pickford, Raya, and I mean, you've got just taking the big step up into the clubs. But as you said, off there, he's probably not improved from last season. So
I think Raya's probably, to be honest, gone just from how important he was at Brentford.
Yeah,
almost gone like a little bit backwards, but I don't think it's a bad thing.
He's more the club. It's
more of like goes more under the radar.
Absolutely. So I went Kaminsky in the end again, coming up from a Luton side. I'm pretty sure his top saves. He's gone ahead of Fotheringham now.
Yeah, that's all you checked and you based off that.
Yeah, that's exactly
stat merchant. But
the Luton games I watched, he's been good. Someone I didn't really know a name of before coming into the season, so I feel like he's taken the jump to being a respected keeper in the league, and I'm pretty sure if they go down, he'll probably get a move.
Do you think so?
I think we're something get a move.
Yeah, right.
Tim Krul was brought in to be that like Premier League experienced keeper to sort of hold up.
Yeah, what's happened?
Never played. Didn't play. Hasn't played.
Is he on the bench?
He's been cut player. So
yeah, right. Wow.
I think that's a
rotation player.
That's a positive sign. Big Tim Krul getting the bag, and
he's just a pen merchant though.
He loves a bit of a come off the bench, Louis van Gaal. All right, left back. Tots, your left back.
Robinson.
I've actually gone the same here. I was just checking my notes though. Well. I put Anthony. Like he's some like Brazilian Anthony.
Anthony Robinson.
Yeah, Robinson.
American.
I put Anthony, bro.
Anthony. Robinson.
I think he took a step up this year. Like, I think Fulham's been good, especially like more coming into the back end of the year.
Back half good. Yeah.
I don't watch Fulham like week in week out, but when I have watched.
Pretty impressive.
Like, you always take note of Anthony Robinson because, like, okay, a bit of a FIFA merchant with high pace, you know, like American. Everyone knows who he is. American. Got the funny, like, broccoli haircut. Yeah. But like, in all seriousness, when I watch Fulham, you know.
Stands out.
He does a bit of a lockdown role and he gets up as well. He's really fast. Like, he actually is really quick. Yeah, and I think.
FIFA's right for once.
Yeah, to be fair, I think he warrants. With how bad fullbacks have been on the Prem this year.
We keep saying this, eh?
Yeah, the fullback stand on the Prem is really poor. Like,
I feel like we're just living off nostalgia now that Prem have
good all the top teams are playing centre-backs there, including like a Villa as well.
And you also, it's like the one position where I feel like we look at the Prem is the biggest league in the world, right?
Yeah.
But you look at the other leagues, it feels like, you know, no Grimaldo's, no Alphonso Davies, and like the no Frimpong, like the level of quality
is
like no Hakimis. There's just nothing there in terms of the fullbacks.
It just, the Cancelos, no one's the Prem.
It doesn't. I don't know if that's a play style. Like you obviously look at Pep, who Pep is like the frontier manager in the world of like, you know, leading the way the game's played essentially, right?
Progressive.
He plays 4 centre backs.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just like the nature of the Prem and that's the way the world's going to go. But I don't know because we're all out of the Champions League. So
just be like Don Carlo and play centre mid.
That is the one position where I feel like the standard.
Yeah,
is way below.
Especially compared to like 3 years ago, you had Cancelo.
Yeah. You were saying a different word there for a second. I heard CUN. I was like, whoa.
I really didn't hate him that much.
But yeah, you're not wrong.
And Shaw and Robertson and like they're all just a bit washed.
Even Chilwell,
James.
Yeah, Trent and Robbo. Yeah, Cancelo and a better Zinchenko. Like it was kind of levels, but
now it's just mid. I think Robinson's good, like old school up and down sort of.
Yeah.
He's not like inverting rubbish. No. He just gets up and down the bar line, cross the ball in. Muniz.
Nah, he's good. He's solid.
I think the lift from him has been the best out of anyone. Do you want to do right back or centre backs first?
We'll do right back.
Right back. Pedro Porro. I know he had a good back end to last year, but I think specifically on the start of his like last season and the majority of last season, he had a big step up. I think he's been like pivotal for Ange, especially with how he plays, and he's taken a big step up into like because at the start when he moved to Spurs, I think there was very much question marks whether he could actually play as a fullback because he was quite like attacking, wouldn't get back. And
he had like City links. Remember that?
No,
Yeah,
he had the City links because he was a City Academy.
Yeah, we worked this out. He was a City Academy. Yeah, he came through that start.
He went from City to Sporting.
But he had like City links about playing like right wing back.
Yeah.
Like it was like, really advanced like position.
Yeah. So like obviously he is more known like a Trent as an attacking player for his attacking output, but he's shown he can defend this year.
He's not incapable
and
of
yeah, like
in the Spurs team. Valid.
Like for Ange, I think it works. Like maybe he would be exploited under a lot of other different managers, but at least for Ange, it looked like he's took a step up.
Yeah. I've gone Vlad Sufal. Vlad.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like purely,
he's a stalwart now in the Premier League.
Yeah, purely because like
West Ham goat.
Look, he's probably played. I think he's played like every game this year. Essentially, probably the same last year. It was more so because I think West Ham have gone from 15th to 8th. I think their attacking output's gotten a lot better, and they're pretty shaky defensively still. But I think of the defenders there, you know, I needed some sort of recognition. I think he's the one who I feel, you know, is most reliable. I have most faith in going into a game. You know, going to hold his spot, going to play a role, going to do a job. Actually, is decent going forward.
Not bad, yeah.
Like, you know, you think of Vlad Sufal, you probably think of more of like you know, kind of a Tommy Asso build. Like, you know, does a job defensively.
Brexit,
like, pretty Brexit. I mean, yeah. So, but can actually is not incapable going forward. Yeah. So, thought going to give West Ham a bit of a shout.
2,776 minutes played. Just so. I think he's top 10. Oh.
So, what's that divided by 90?
He's 23rd, but they all play the exact same minutes. Sort of. If he's Bruno's, that's when you know he's played a lot of minutes.
23rd what?
23rd out of the Prem, but he's literally a few minutes behind Bruno.
That's good then.
Yeah,
like, you know, 23rd in
for
the
an old
Prem.
man as well.
Yeah.
He's pretty,
that proves my point.
Yeah, locked in. And I went Diogo Dalot as my guy.
Yeah, love it.
Seeing him every week obviously helps the whole debate. But again, it's not many really standouts. I feel like he's been a standout because he's played every game for United, left back, right back. Feels like centre back sometimes when we have pushing everyone on. So he's been really, really good. Reminds of AC Milan a bit when he went on loan. Yeah. He was really aggressive, attacking, and he's still being really good. Like he's always weak defensive, I always thought. But this season especially, because of how bad we've been, maybe it makes it look better, but he's looked really solid at the back.
So what's up with Wan-Bissaka? Like it's kind of often.
No, he's playing.
He's playing, but
he's been injured for a bit.
Like if we go back to our normal back four, Wan-Bissaka will not be playing.
That's what I'm saying. But Luke Dallow's on the right.
Yeah, Dalot will start on the right if no injuries. But Dalot's had played left back, right back. He's had good goals as well. Yeah. Sheffield United.
The only question I ask you about Dalot is, do you think he's really in the most improved? I think he's been good for a while now.
See, I think he's kept improving. I think he's been exponential growth. But we're seeing now a more complete fullback, someone that can do a bit of everything rather than I think it was a bit of a really attacking fullback that would be. Yeah, like
he pick up the ball and drive, and I mean that side of his game was always really, really
I get what you're saying.
You trust him one-on-one.
Like,
remember last year, Carabao Cup final, we got dragged to half time because St. Maximin put him on his bum 20%.
Yeah,
so.
Because the questions that I've heard about Dalot is at AC he showed how good attacking wise he was, but then last year for United he probably showed more of his defensive output.
He stepped up 100%. Yeah.
But it looked like he dropped a bit of that attacking output last year. Yeah. Whereas this year probably it looks like it's the combination.
It's a full package of him this year. That's why I've got him in.
CBs.
Harry Maguire.
I got Maguire also.
Okay, I didn't put Maguire in. Yeah, right. Who's the other partner?
Romero.
Zabani.
Yeah, my boy Zabani. So I went totally different to all of you. I went Kilman and I went Branthwaite as my
centre. You went Kilman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Brathwaite, but it's more just a youngster coming through than an improved.
It does feel like that.
I actually feel like Kilman's been good for some time now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think they'll be average. Maybe it's just the O'Neill effect, but they look really, really solid defensively. They don't.
I think he's probably taking it. He also he's a good and he's also a decent attacking threat.
Yeah, and I guess they had Dawson normally alongside Collins playing last year.
Oh, I feel like Kilman played a lot last year.
I think Collins was probably their first pick last year in terms of centre backs.
I just want to fact check that.
Yeah, I'll check that. But one of my favorite players
Kilman's taken a step for sure.
Maybe not as much as Maguire. I forgot that Maguire.
Yeah,
but
I'm going to be honest. He gave me a little bit of input.
Yeah, because I got centre backs. I'm like, is it really that much of a jump? But I thought Kilman was one of my first ones to put in. Brown's more because of he's just elevated himself so quickly. What is he, 20?
Yeah,
and he's gone from being a no one to a. Did he play? He played
37 starts last year. 30 the year before.
30 last year.
37 last year.
Yeah.
30 the year before.
So maybe play with Collins then. Did you play with Collins last year?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think Dawson played much last year.
Dawson just benched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, no.
I think he's lived
Kilman's
captain.
being skip. Like, he's definitely taking the step.
Maguire's been the better pick out of the two then.
And you're not wrong. In terms of expectation where Wolves were going to be, he's been pivotal in terms of like, they don't score a lot of goals. You know, they need to be solid defensively. And Wolves, you were saying before about Arsenal going away to Wolves. Like, that's not an easy fixture because you know they're hard to break down. So that, it's
and playing the Gary O'Neill, you have to be a pretty good player. It looks like we've learnt now you have to be a really good player.
Before we move on, Maguire, I think it explains itself. Like, he's been quite poor the past couple of years, and it looks like he's more regained that Leicester form. And it just shows what type of player he is. Maguire's now at the type, he's playing as we should have expected, than more than like what we expected from him. Like he isn't that $80 million signing.
Yeah. He's also not the captain. Like he can't deal with that.
Neither.
That's all those fun.
I agree with that.
He's proven he can't deal with that.
I think he's just showed what he is. So a good Maguire is what Maguire's been this year.
Fridge.
Yeah, he's an
LG fridge.
He's
a go down solid Harvey Norman. Like I want the 4.5 star rated.
Yeah, none of the 5-star rubbish. None of those touchscreen.
Like I don't I don't want the touchscreen rubbish. Like
just give me the fridge. Just maybe a freezer as well, built-in freezer.
I want a lot of space. Like the slab head. I'm about to whack a slab in there.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Like a 24.
It's a good fridge.
But yeah, he showed what he's like capable of this year. But it's just obviously not good enough still to be a top team's starting centre back.
I think he'd be a great third centre back. If United were at their best, he'd be a good third centre back.
Yeah.
It's just good diags. The reason I disagree with you is it depends who the manager is, because if you want to play this like progressive football, no matter, he's not that player that can play that type.
Alongside a quick guy, I think he should be like as a third centre back. Saying like, so you have
if you look at all the centre backs now, no one plays with a slow centre back, even next to a quick centre back.
Okay, so who starts when Butcher's back?
Butcher Varane.
But Varane doesn't look like, so it looks like we're going to go sign someone.
How's the Real Madrid reject save?
Yeah, that lasted all of 1 year.
Big cast, ice cold penalty.
Him and Bernardo, mate, just copied each other.
But Maguire. I was going to say something really cancelable about Zarbani, which I would have said like 6 months ago. But
he's been his tongue.
I've learned about the Ukrainian jokes. Probably should see clear of this. Anyway, I didn't know who he was last year. So Zarbani gets my shout out. He's been really solid with Bournemouth. So
my boy Zarbani, back him in. Mids. We're one at a time because they're going to be all over the place. So your first midfielder, Tots.
Gallagher.
Is that your more defensive-minded one?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I have him as well, but...
Your Gags?
Yeah, I have Gags in there as well. I don't know if he's defensive or not because my threes is
neither. I couldn't find a defensive midfielder, so he's one of my...
I've got 2 box-to-boxes.
Yeah, so it's kind of the same, but I think he's more regained his form from Palace. He's another one of those players that, again, I don't think he's of quality to play for...
Trajectory about Palace. Did he go on loan to Palace?
Yeah, loan.
He's on for like 2 years at Palace.
Yeah, so where was he?
Chelsea. At Chelsea, always.
He was at Chelsea.
Yeah. He's been at Chelsea since he was like 10.
Yeah, but then he was on loan for Palace for how long?
2 seasons.
2 years in the Premier League.
It must have been 2 years. Yeah. I was going to say, because it felt like a long time.
Yeah, but he's another one of those players that has regained his form after being quite poor last year. A bit like Maguire, but again, I wouldn't say of quality to be at a top Premier League team.
I agree. I think he's probably their best player. That in that midfield alongside Enzo and Caicedo, he should.
I was about to say it's a tough one. Like
he shouldn't be the best player, but he is.
And is he? Like Is he going to play next year if you have Enzo and Caicedo and Palmer?
He shouldn't, but he's probably he deserves to play.
He does deserve to on credit. But
he's got credit in the back.
And Lavia, oh my god, they have so many players.
Yeah, again another player you got as a reserve sort of off the bench type guy that maybe can just bring some energy. Right, he looks like an energy player. He runs around a lot. He'll go in for a tackle, decent pass. He hasn't got that final product right to play that defense split.
Yeah, there's often a lot of times he should score and should do better attacking, or he doesn't. But no, Gallagher's...
He's overachieved. I think it's the easiest way to put it.
He's good
for us.
My more defensive one is I've gone John McGinn.
Yeah.
I think he was obviously good last year. And he's been good for years now, but I think the increase in output has also taken him to the next level. He had 1 goal last year, he's got 6 this year.
Yeah.
I don't know how many assists he's got this year, but look, he's been the one stalwart that's played every every game for Villa. You know, Kamara's gone down. Douglas Luiz hasn't played all the time. Like, he's been absolutely rock solid, and he's like pivotal. You know, I don't really like John McGinn as like an opposition fan. He pisses me off a little bit. Just riles me up. I don't know what it is. But
like Scottish people.
But I got to respect how pivotal
just goes through
he is
someone
to
randomly.
that. Oh, it's just like his eyes are really close. I don't know. I don't know what it is. He annoys me. He annoys me. I don't like looking at him. He annoys me. Nah, John McGinn is my call.
Good shout. Do you want to go your second
Yeah.
mid?
So right.
Kenny.
Yeah, fair shout. Fulham.
Yeah, Fulham.
Tom Kent, yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, you said it.
the reason I put him in was I've always thought of him as one of those players that was just not good enough for the Premier League, but too good for the Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
So
get that vibe.
So whereas I think he's like
Mid-table player.
Yeah, where he's took himself to this next level this year, where he shows he's actually Premier League, like he's capable of playing in the Premier League. Like every time that Fulham's got like promoted in the last couple of like seasons, it looks like he's just one of those players. It's like he just can't cut it in the Premier League, and he goes back to the Championship, a bit like what Mitrovic did prior to last season.
Yeah.
It was a
Not
bit,
big good
yeah.
enough.
Prior to that, it was a bit like, he comes into the Premier League, like doesn't do much, goes back to the Championship, dominates.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that, and I think Kenny was another one of those players.
Yeah.
That's the main reason I put him in.
Fair play.
I was just looking at the table. Sorry. Can't
central.
believe Chelsea are going to finish above you lot. I'm going to go... I don't think it's been his best position this year, but I had to get him in this team. Go on, Kai Havertz.
Your shout.
Yeah.
As like that left centre mid role he plays for Arsenal. Like that old Granit Xhaka type role. So purely because he obviously has proven, you know, he was obviously very good in the Bundesliga, and that's why he got that big money move to Chelsea, and he scored in the Champions League final and all that stuff.
The redemption arc.
But he hasn't been that player now for like what at least a year. Like he was stinking up last year at Chelsea.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he was the year before that. I think I think the Champions League final was that year. But look, he's proved, you know, significantly over the course of the year. Not just like he didn't hit the ground running, but he's worked into it. He's getting more confidence. And look, he's a bit of a scapegoat for Arsenal when we don't play well. He cops it a lot.
Yeah. Chelsea Dax, I think.
But yeah, I think a little bit like, you know, because I don't know what it is with Havertz. He's a bit clumsy, a little bit lethargic, but he actually he offers us a bit of a tall body up forward, and he's getting on the score sheet now and scoring a lot of crucial goals throughout the year. So I think he deserves a bit of recognition. And despite I think he plays better in that striker role.
Yeah.
He's also
play a lot.
I mean, he was really good against Villa in that left centre mid role. Should have scored, but was getting through there, and I can see him playing a lot in the future in that role. So that's my centre mid.
I went similar to you with your last guy. I went Douglas as my
Yeah, okay, you went Douglas.
Yeah, like
I nearly went Douglas.
more because he's got the output this year as well.
Yeah,
like he's pushed
a
on
lot of output.
Like,
He's had a lot of output.
Yeah, at home he's got home goal scoring.
7 or 8 goals.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best home goal scorers. Good midfielder. He's a bit of a wind up merchant as well. I think like the old Villa team's a bit wind up in the midfield. They just have some
Nice
fun
girlfriend too.
with it. Yeah.
Does
well for himself.
He fell. You know, last year lost it, so that's down. Now he's up this year. Got it back.
He's back up. The redemption arc is truly
legit redemption arc.
For Luis. And they're doing well. You have to get Villa players in there. They're fourth in the league. Like we thought they were going to be like average Europa. So I've got him in there. He's up.
P-Money just trying to keep a PG, and then Flynn jumps in.
I'm trying not to lie. So I'm trying not to.
She's an elite player. Bro, what do you mean? Alicia Lehman's good.
He's winning off the.
How much of her have you watched?
Damn.
It's exposing him. He's familiar with the game.
Enough of the Instagram.
He's familiar with the game.
Bro, I don't know if you guys have seen the Insta. Have you seen the Insta?
Oh,
She just like posts.
Baits it.
Bro.
Baits
It's like, she could just be like a professional footballer and, you know, just post those photos. But come on. She knows what she's doing.
She
knows what she's doing, bro. I find it cramps.
She's the most followed Instagram footballer, I think.
It's hilarious.
She knows what she's doing.
smart. Are you one of those people?
I think I might have unfollowed her. I think I might have got told off.
Plays cards.
Anyway.
So it's your number 10.
Palmer.
Palmer.
I didn't get Palmer.
You didn't?
No, I didn't get Palmer. I went Cunha. He was my number 10.
Oh, you went Cunha?
Yeah. Palmer's at City, bro.
You can make the same case for Palmer as I think you can make for Cunha. I think Cunha's been good.
He was Atletico.
I think Cunha's always been good. I just think he's getting more of a spotlight now.
Yeah.
And the same can be said about Palmer.
Can't you make the same argument about Brathwaite as well then?
Okay, well, that's kind
no
of
one knew
Brathwaite is not the same as Cunha.
When that's a
and Palmer.
20-year-old centre back, that's English.
Palmer, you could just say hasn't had the opportunity. He now has, and you know, even when he didn't get the opportunity, he still scored.
He still scored two
cup
final goals.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
But I think you can't say someone who's second in the Golden Boot from Cam isn't somewhat improved. And I just think, you know, whether it's most improved or like
number one in the Golden Boot.
He's second. He's got 19 goals.
20.
He's got 19.
20.
No, he doesn't. He's got 19.
He does. Continue to talk. I'll take this.
I know he's second.
Wager right now. Middle show wager. Let's go.
What is
Middle of the show wager.
Wager it.
I
don't have any money on me. I don't really want to answer you.
It can just be just a gentleman's.
Yeah, it can just be a gentleman's.
A transfer of.
Yeah, I bet 19.
20.
Okay, the scores are in. Haaland's on 20 and Cole Palmer is on 20 goals.
Oh.
So you're on Palmer next time.
Good thing I don't have any money. It's got about $10.
He could win Golden Boot, man.
He's on 20?
Yeah, on 20.
Yeah.
He did bag 4 versus Everton.
What?
And 3 versus United.
Yeah,
Haaland's going to take that so personal. Bet on Haaland to score a hat-trick for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Haaland in robot form.
But, yeah, look.
Oh, he's 100% improved.
Palmer's stats speak for himself.
I think the thing you have to think about is the reason he has improved as well. Like, City let him go for 40 million. They're not letting a guy go for 40 million and score 20 goals in 30 matches. If like that, if that's what they thought he was capable of.
If they wanted to buy him back now, what are they paying? 120 million.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like,
probably
how old is Cole Palmer? 20.
20. Like, yeah.
He's leading the Golden Boot at 10.
Yeah.
And he's 20 years
and
old.
Yeah, and he's like second in assists as well.
Yeah.
Only because Ollie Watkins pulled 2 assists on
his bum.
Yeah. I mean, when was the last guy we had someone? What was it? Harry? Are we talking like Kane echelon of players who score and assist double digits?
We're talking about that.
Like Kane won the Golden Boot and the assist award in the same season.
Yeah. But like that's the level we're talking. Yeah. Like in the history books.
In a poo Chelsea team as well.
Players to, I don't know. He should have 20 assists.
Genuine question. Could he be a player that breaks Thierry Henry's record?
In terms of like all time
no
record?
No one's done the 2020.
I was about to say, he should have the 2020. Like if Chelsea were good,
if they had a finisher.
Well, if Jackson puts away some,
I wonder what his XA is for assists. Like his expected assists. It's probably insane.
It's probably near the 20.
He's only got 10, but
it's probably
you look
like
at some
20.
of the misses Jackson's having, especially off Palmer's boot.
Well, it's probably like 15.
Maybe in all
but the top level clubs always outperform their expected
and
goals.
And there's still games left, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's mental.
In an ideal Chelsea, he probably could have.
I'm going to actually look that up right now. Just I'm really curious.
Okay, so. The reason I went Cunha.
Yeah, you talked about that.
I think it's been good, but I think it was a little bit disappointing from what I expected last season because Wolves sort of just didn't perform well. It also fell apart. But I guess partly because they played well, partly because Gary O'Neill was cooked with them. And he's been the main guy. Whenever he's there, first game back, he scored 2. Important for them last night. 2 nights ago against Arsenal.
He's really outperforming.
He's really outperforming?
Both.
Oh, okay.
His goals is 14. He's got 20. His assists is 6. He's got 10. Right. I
still reckon though he could have more assists though. If you just the eye test, there's some chances of missed.
I know. Like it feels that way.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and don't be right. I could have gone Palmer, but I feel like I still remember at the start of the season he won City 2 trophies from his goals. Right? Like,
can he win Premier League Player of the Year?
I think he can. We're saying this, but I feel like Foden will win it because City will win it. Like that's the way.
30 goal comps.
It's ridiculous. I think you look at the power rankings right now. There's a few power rankings that are going out, and Phil Foden's always number 1.
Way less, like 10.
I think 10 less in contributions. 10 less contributions.
That's what I'm saying. I think Palmer wins it.
I think he should, but you know how it always works. So
he's got 21.
The team that wins it ends up getting their player winning it. Like that's normally the way it goes.
Usually,
this season he could make an excuse, I guess, because City have been not as far away as they normally are.
Yeah, well, when we're only
Palmer's
talking about
got
1 or 2
6 more goals than Foden.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And that's ridiculous.
But it looks like Foden. I'm pretty sure I read the Sky Power rankings had Foden number 1. Yeah. Palmer was 3. I think.
What if Chelsea made top 4?
Obviously, he's
is
one.
Is that possible? Nah.
I think the highest they can get 5th.
Everyone's going to lose, basically.
60 points as well, eh? They can only get 6th. They can only get 6th. They can beat you in Newcastle.
Alrighty. Let's do the front threes as because I feel like we might have quite similar.
Okay, I think we could all have the same.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's do it as one.
So I'll
chunk.
do mine. Yeah. Wang on the left.
Wang.
I went Gordon.
Wood up
Yeah,
top.
I nearly went Gordon. I got
we're going to have different then. You had Wood at top. Okay.
I got Wood.
I went Solanke up top.
And then on the right, Leon Bailey.
Leon Bailey. Yeah. Not on the left this time, on the right this time.
I think Bailey speaks for itself.
Yeah. Do you have the same as me?
Yeah.
Who do you have as your striker?
Solanke.
Yeah, that
Liverpool reject sort of maybe helps the whole storyline.
Really good last year.
No, he only kicked 6 goals.
But he's
what? He didn't score 6 goals last year.
Do you want to go for another one?
No, he didn't.
You can cancel out the other one.
That is
double or nothing.
Double or nothing.
Double or nothing.
You cancel out the other one.
Palmy and a beer.
Dominic Solanke did not score 6 goals
2
last year.
pints of Swan or cancel them out.
That is not true.
2 pints of Swan or we can cancel it out.
Nah, because you clearly know it's true, but it's not true. That cannot be true. Solanke scored 6 goals last year.
He hasn't been great. No, he's been a championship player.
He was good last year.
He's still good, but he didn't score the number of goals he should have.
That's 2 pints of Swan.
But do you know what I mean? That's what I mean.
He scored 3 times the goals. Oh yeah,
that's
definitely put him in. I would have put him in as well if I knew that.
But the same reason. He
scored like 12.
That adds to the point though, because he's been playing well. Just hasn't the end product.
That's insane.
Now he's got the end product.
I still think you put Wood in just because
Wood's he's a plank.
Wood's like wood.
And he got bullied in school for being soccer. So
New Zealand tax and the story tax. So you guys went Wang and Wood.
Yeah.
Bailey.
So Bailey all know the reasons why.
Yeah.
Wang, I like that one.
I just think Wang, he was like a bench warmer.
Yeah.
For Wolves.
No output as well.
Yeah.
He
have a good 3 games. And that's it. Whereas
the
this
4-game run.
He's probably showed he's going to have good 15, 20 games.
He's been pivotal.
If he was fit,
12, 13 goals.
Oh, maybe.
I don't think he's got that many. But
he's got 11. I feel like
10.
I feel like Wang's goals to points, like goals, like, you know what I mean?
Converting to points of wins.
Yeah.
Like point getting goals feels really high. Like it feels like 1-0 games or 2-1 games of Wang scoring.
Yeah.
You know, whereas because it just feels like Wolves don't really batter teams.
Nah, they come.
So when they do score,
yeah,
it's important. And I feel like Pedro Neto's been out for so much of the season.
Big pressure.
He's been reliable there. Obviously with Cunha and with Sarabia, but I think he's sort of made himself a bit of a cemented player this year, and I think he's really improved and been pivotal to. I mean,
the face.
Purely just from our expectation of Wolves and where they are now.
You could have a lot of Wolves players in this
team. And who's helped achieve that? I think he's been like paramount to that.
Yeah. And I went Solanke, obviously, as I sort of said to you, because I feel like he's been good for time, but never a finisher. Got that finishing part. And again, his goal contributions I think he's got a few assists as well. So his goal contribution has been massive. He could be on a flight to the Euros. And Gordon, we sort of said,
I nearly put Gordon in. I just thought he was really good at Everton.
Yeah.
And then got that halfway move, January move. And then didn't play.
That's the thing. He's just got forgotten about. That's why I put him in.
Yeah.
He's just disappeared.
And he's been so good this year.
Everyone's like Almiron and Joelinton, these other guys.
Despite
he's the guy now.
Newcastle, I don't know where I feel about Newcastle, but Anthony Gordon and Alexander Isak,
they're clear.
They're going to hold that club in a good spot. Those two are really, really good.
They haven't got them back to where they are.
Oh no,
single-handedly,
those two are insane.
Single-handedly.
They're both so young as well. What, 23 each?
Something like that. Yeah. Isak's
that
around
age,
definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
And they are in such a good spot with those two.
And I said, I said last week, Gordon should be going to the Euros and should be amongst that squad because that direct running and what he does.
100%. Anthony Gordon should borderline be starting off the left, let alone.
With the players they've got, it's really hard.
I mean, I don't.
The thing is, they're going to play Foden probably off the left.
I'm not one of these guys who,
I would agree with you.
The reality is, I think to get the best out of a team and have the most cohesion and chemistry, you need to play players who know where to play. Yeah, I'm all for getting Palmer and Foden and Saka in the squad, but I don't think you can make it happen. I think play
Gerrard,
if you're going to do it, you're going to play Bellingham as a false 9, play Foden in behind, and then
you can't play Saka on the left. That's the thing. You cannot. Saka's stuck on the right.
Saka can't play on the left.
Could you not play Bellingham as the 8? Palmer as the cam?
Do you drop Saka
as the 10 and then Foden?
You don't drop Saka.
Saka's literally the face of England football right now.
It's getting in the way. But
do you not play this front four?
People think you should drop Saka. People think you should drop Saka, play Foden at 10, play or Palmer.
If you face a low block, the only player who could break that apart is Bukayo. He faces it every week.
Saka won England's Player of the Year last year.
He's the face of England right now.
So you play Saka, Foden off the left, then Palmer at 10.
Yeah, we've said this, so that's how I think they will line up.
But can Foden play?
Palmer won't play.
I
They're
think
going to play Bellingham at 10.
Palmer won't play. We've just been speaking about Palmer wouldn't play of the year.
Play of the year. He has to play.
Doesn't matter. Palmer won't play.
In a meritocracy, he should play.
Southgate
we'll make a
to
third
pressure.
bet of the day. Southgate won't start Palmer. I think he should. I'm not saying I don't think that. I'm saying Southgate won't start Palmer.
I was with you that 2 weeks ago, but now it's just
He
the
won't
media
play
pressure.
Bellingham at 8.
Southgate folds
He
the media
won't play
pressure, man.
Bellingham at 8. He'll play Bellingham at 10. And he'll play like someone weird.
No, one of them is definitely not starting because Kane is up top.
Well, that's
Saka's
a
in
lock
my
on the
opinion,
right.
Saka's a lock on the right and a Southgate team.
And I think Foden's playing the left. I feel like that's the way it's going to be. I think Foden is going to be on the left.
Yeah, and it won't be
Bellingham
Palmer
at
at 10. Bellingham at 10.
Bellingham or Palmer will be at 10.
It'll be Bellingham.
If we're talking about in the minor Southgate,
It's
that's what's
Bellingham.
going to happen.
Okay, if you're in the minor Southgate, who are you playing at 10? Bellingham or...
If I'm actually, to be honest,
either one of them will play
to
that
be honest,
time,
if I'm manager, I'm legit starting Anthony Gordon.
Wow.
Like,
I'm not against it, but it's bold, man.
I don't want to play.
You're bench one of the Star Boys.
Yeah, but I want... It's not like Anthony Gordon's a bum.
He's not a bum.
This guy is
But you're talking about Man City's best up-and-comer versus Chelsea up-and-comer.
He's the only left winger.
Foden's played there a lot of his career.
Because he's been stuffed with De Bruyne and
No,
Bernardo.
Foden played off the right.
He has played off the right.
Foden hasn't played off the left.
But he has played off the left.
He's done it before.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think he's played off the left for 2 years.
For 2 years?
I would say right, yeah.
I don't think Foden's played off the left for 2 years. He's played right all year, and then him and Foden started at half the games last year. Like him and Mahrez swapped last year.
Yeah, it's true. He did because Mahrez took some and he took some.
It was Grealish last year, and then who else played off the left last year? Someone else. I forget.
KDB does drift out left as well.
But someone else was rotating with Grealish last year. Grealish played a lot last year, but I can't remember who it was. I'm 90% sure there was someone else.
Because at times, what he does, he puts De Bruyne out left and puts Foden in the middle. If he really changes it up. I've seen at times De Bruyne basically come as like
Julian Alvarez played off the left last year.
Yeah, at times. Yeah.
So look, I mean.
So what do you do with that team then? You think? So do you think you play Foden 10 or Palmer 10?
I'd play Palmer at the 10 preferably.
Unfortunately for Cole Palmer, I'm playing
Foden
at 10.
Yeah, I think
Palmer's getting benched for me.
I think so as well.
That's the way I'm doing it.
Wow. Okay.
And then I'm having a midfield of Bellingham and Rice. And that's the best midfield in the world,
What a midfield, man. What a midfield.
That's the best midfield in the world.
That's goal scoring. That's coverage.
That
that's
is
running.
the best midfield. I mean, Bellingham.
Actually,
if Madrid win the Champions League, Bellingham wins the Ballon d'Or.
Oh, it's going to... Oh.
I think so.
I'm not ruling Mbappe out at this point.
Me and Nathan are still saying the Euros decides who wins the Ballon d'Or. If France win it, Mbappe wins it. If England wins it, Bellingham wins it.
We're ruling out the fact that Mbappe can still win the Champions League.
Yeah, he's still...
No. That's what I'm saying. If Bellingham wins the Champions League...
You're saying the Champions League. I'm saying the Euros will decide it. It's tough. It's so tough because they've been.
So let's say for what you're trying to say is if France wins the Euros,
Mbappe wins it,
and Bellingham wins the Champions
League, Mbappe will win. I think.
Yeah, I think it's attacking tax as well.
Yeah,
I think that's like
goal tax is crazy.
But it depends what Mbappe does as well. He has to win like player of the Euros.
Yeah, but we're thinking they're leading each of their countries.
Mbappe is also like insane. Internationally.
Yeah. Oh, he turns up.
He's like one of the best international players of all. This guy has made...
of all time.
Totally off topic. Some of the French players are so good for international... Like, you talk about Griezmann, Giroud...
can't get a game, bro.
Like, yeah, all these guys turn up. Like,
I also hate Didier Deschamps. I hate him. Bro, he slandered Saliba.
Yeah, he does.
He's got 15 clean sheets in the Prem.
Most clean sheets in the Prem?
Yeah.
He slanders him, but has made 2 World Cup finals in the last 2 World Cups.
And could have... And one kick away.
He's better than Kanate, bro. You cannot tell... Upamecano doesn't start for Bayern, man.
Yeah, it's true. Upamecano...
Like, but you know what you can do what you want when you win a World Cup and should have won another one.
When you win,
if
you're one kick away...
If you're going to win it with that team, then Jesus Christ, imagine what you'd have with Saliba in that team, bro. Saliba is a generational. He's a generational centre-back.
And generational as well. He's both of them.
And generational.
He's both of them.
I just thought of that.
Anyway.
It took you a while to clock, but
anyway.
There we go.
But yeah, look.
That's the way it is.
And that's why Palmer's so improved.
We waffled. We're back to our like prime waffling behaviours.
I know. But these have been valid discussions though. We're like already in off-season mode because the league already feels wrapped up.
Yeah.
Let's run through the teams one more time before we waffle too long.
So in
and
goals,
we just run through these next games.
Yeah, because these
like still preview run through them. I don't want to talk about them.
Onana, Porro, Maguire, Romero, Robinson, Gallagher. Then it was Kearney, Palmer, Huang, Wood, Bailey.
I love you say Kearney. I love that. That's well pronounced.
Yeah, I know. You're saying it like traditionally, mate. Onana, my brother Anthony. Maguire, then Zarbani. Cool. Sufal, John McGinn, Cole Palmer, Havertz, then Huang, Chris Wood, and then Leon Bailey.
I'm so edgy on. I'm trying to tell you. So I went Kaminsky, Robinson, Branthwaite, Kilman, Dalot, Louise, Gallagher, Cunha, Gordon, Solanke, and Bailey. So the only ones we had were Robinson and Bailey, the only same ones we had, right?
Well, you probably took a
you went
Douglas
Louise. Yeah,
you dived into this like segment,
mate. I think
I
don't think anyone has that wrong. I just think I've been edgy. I think I've been too edgy with my calls.
No, what I'm more saying
I forgot Maguire.
I've more thought of like we've both more thought of like these massive high rises.
I got Zarbani,
and the only way we can think, one player. The only way we thought of it is really either by output or by like them being completely terrible, like the likes of Maguire.
That's why we love the 3-person couch. It's just 3 different.
Yeah, exactly. We took a dive in three different pools.
Different directions.
Let's smack these games out.
Okay, I want to talk about the Everton-Nottingham Forest game, the El Shitico. I think they pronounced it yesterday. Because Nottingham Forest put out, I don't know if you've seen this.
Oh my God.
Extremely...
talk about this. No, this is good.
Here we go. 3 extremely poor decisions. 3 penalties not given, which we simply cannot accept.
This is mental.
We have warned the PGMOL that the VAR is a Luton fan before the game, but it didn't change him. Our patience has been tested multiple times. NFFC will consider its options.
This is insane. But
they were pens. I think they were pens.
I mean, regardless, I just like that.
It's hilarious.
It's insane.
Clattenburg is employed by Forest as well. That's another armour as well. Mark Clattenburg is employed by Nottingham Forest to be an advisor on VAR stuff, to like assess if they're being wrong done or like.
And who's Mark Clattenburg?
The referee. Like one of the. I don't remember Mark Clattenburg. One of the famous Premier League referees.
Is he the guy that does that post-match thing?
Post-match thing? No. That's the old geezer.
Baldy off him. No. He just yaps.
Mark Clattenburg. You don't know Mark Clattenburg?
No, I do know who Mark Clattenburg is, but I was thinking.
One of them
I thought he meant he's still referees.
No. Like, nah. So he's retired and he's like their advisor now on this sort of stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm a casual. Okay.
So they've got him. Apparently the VAR's a Luton guy, and Ashley Young should have been given away like 3
Mark
pens.
Clattenburg does a lot of media stuff. He's like the go-to.
Because he was the English. He used to do all the Champions League games for he used to represent England.
Okay, I know.
Now now it's Anthony Taylor whoever does it. But all of that being said, that was ridiculous. I feel like. Obviously, the statement's ridiculous as well because you never see that. But some of those calls were bad, man. Hudson-Odoi was hacked down by Young.
So what's what is that statement?
There's nothing, by the way.
Well, it doesn't do anything, but does it kind of set a precedent a little bit, in terms of
now clubs will start.
It's a little bit of a game, historical moment in terms of
a club
publicity.
Yeah, clubs. Because Mikel did it earlier, said that was a manager doing it, and Pep's done it in the past, but no
managers have done this.
But no club's done it. No official club statement
on the social media as well.
Twitter as well.
Twitter as well. Twitter makes it the funniest part. It's Twitter. I had to double check that if it was real.
I woke up thinking, is it a joke?
I don't know how to react to it, but it's
hilarious.
It is. It's unprecedented, right? A club taking that sort of stand on the publics, on the socials. It's mental. I'm glad you touched on that because
your thoughts on it. What do you do you agree with it?
I want to see more of it.
Yeah. That's what we're getting into. Yeah.
What I don't want to see is it become a thing where every single
decision is right.
With the AFL social media teams, they're good, but it's a bit much now. The Giants started it; they did a lot of it. But now every single club,
I know
every single incident, and it's just a little bit, grow up a little bit.
And then the problem is there's too many of these meaningless apologies then as well.
Yeah. It feels unprofessional a little bit as well, all the time.
Yeah,
but and that's what I don't want. I don't want that from the EPL. I don't want these meaningless apologies. No one gets any points. Yeah. No one gets any good from it. It's just tell your referees to not make that decision next time. Whether you make that public and apologise or not, I don't think the club really cares about the apology.
The way they worded it, at least I like the way they worded it. It kind of came across, despite being on Twitter and social media, it was a really short, formal, Newcastle FC will consider their options. It's kind of it's it's unprecedented and it's not unprofessional. I don't think. I think it's valid, but
it's like what Wolves have to do.
I just don't know. What does this do now for the rest? Like, for every other time this stuff happens.
That's the thing now. Would this clubs now just come out and just start making these statements via Twitter?
Yeah, hopefully, it holds the Prem referees to higher accountability. That's the best case. Is that
I've said this all year because remember how many times start the season Wolves got ripped.
Yeah, I know.
Wolves were like 9 points ripped off them because of like dodgy VAR.
That was mental. I forgot about that.
And we had good runs and bad runs. We got through, and then we sort of just didn't focus on that for a little bit. But Nottingham Forest had equally bad run.
Like they need this is across worldwide sport. There needs to be post-match interviews
with the refs.
Seriously, there seriously does, and there needs to be like constant communication, like back and forth between VAR and the on-field referee.
I don't know if I agree with the post-match though, because it doesn't really solve anything, and it just puts.
I think it does.
How does it solve anything though? Because it's just going to clarify them making a mistake.
But as in, we don't get clarification, and we don't get accountability.
We get a wordy answer.
We get an occasional PGMOL apology saying we got it wrong.
Yeah,
occasionally. But I also think if referees are under the premise that they're going to have to explain decisions later, then
it's like managers.
Then, like, you remember when Mike Dean came out and said earlier this year, it's like, oh, he's my mate.
Yeah.
Like, as in, he probably stuffed up the wording.
Yeah.
But, like...
He's not accountable.
Yeah. Like, as in, if you know you have to explain this later on, there's going to be zero influence. Even if there's 5% influence now, there will be zero influence, and managers and referees will be held accountable. In the eye of the public. And I personally would like to see that. I'd like to see, incident clarification, and then, I don't know, just see the referees in their own light rather than this sort of organisation that feels a little bit like a boys' club and,
like a veil.
Yeah, I just don't like the way it is at the moment. I'd rather see more open communication.
And again, this is not me having to go the on-field. The VAR's there looking at the pictures. How can you not overturn some of these decisions?
Yeah. On-field is way harder than VAR. VAR get it wrong so often.
It's just, it's painful. So, I guess a big win for Everton because now, we said it's at the top of the show. They're basically safe now. Yeah. But it keeps Nottingham Forest in and around.
Everton are definitely safe.
Now Nottingham Forest is just a bit nervy.
Well, Forest, 1 point.
Yeah. They've played some good football. They haven't won many games.
But Burnley have a really, really, really tough run. Yeah. Luton, though.
Never know.
Never know. What is it? 4 games left for some of these teams.
Yeah. 2 home games for Luton. My God. I targeted them. The 2 home games they have to win those 2 games.
Are we doing 4 points, Luton?
A deadline stream?
We're going to have to, I can just work out. Yeah. We'll back up for that. Alrighty. Actually, I'll touch on another one. Flick up this. Villa won 3-0 versus Bournemouth. A very exciting game. Great game for Watkins. Diaby back. This is what we thought. The only thing I want to say, this is what we thought started the season would be Bailey, Diaby and Watkins together. I haven't really seen it since the opening day, I think. They haven't really played together properly. Yeah. So we saw that again. They all got involved. 2 assists for Watkins, goal for Diaby, goal for Bailey. Good win for them. Bournemouth, bit of problem early on, but they got the job done in the end. Now, I don't know if any of you saw this coming. Palace 5, West Ham 2.
Did not see this coming. Traded in Mateta, though.
I traded in Anderson.
Double game week. So 16 points.
Massive for Palace. Back-to-back wins. They beat Liverpool last week. Yeah. So beat Liverpool, smashed West Ham.
Elise and Eze both getting on the score sheet.
What a surprise. I keep saying I need to find the stats, but it's got to be now ridiculous, them playing together in their win ratio. And Palace are back to their middle. I think they're 14th or 13th now.
I think they're still 14th because there was a bit of a gap there.
That's it. Bournemouth had that gap. Yeah. But they look like they're now the classic Palace mid-table side now, doing their thing.
Palace were due for a battering this year. They haven't done it yet, so...
It's good, but I tell you what, it's good to say there's some signs out there.
Palace are a likeable team. I like their squad.
I like their manager as well. I'm a very big fan of Palace.
I want to see him kick on a little bit.
Mateta double. He's been firing, but he's another underrated shout for most improved as well.
I almost did. I felt a bit reactionary though.
It is because of the weekend, And obviously, Elise and Eze, if they stay, just a quick question, if they stay, do you reckon they make that sort of push to the 10th position? So they go from bottom half to 10th.
You can go now, I mean,
the top 10 is now like we used to talk about the big 6.
Then it's the pretty big much 7. 9.
Then it's the big 8. Yeah, probably the big 8. You'd say
because Brighton like 9th, and then
do they join the Brighton Fulhams next season?
I don't think Fulham are there yet. I think Brighton are in their own league.
Yeah, so Brighton.
I honestly think Brighton are like the 9th. That's where I see them.
Yeah.
Then The next 4 are like interchangeable.
Fulham, Bournemouth, Crystal Palace.
I think it's
Wolves maybe.
Wolves, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's
Palace have
I
the
think
capacity.
10th to Palace where they are now
Yeah,
is like their own joint, you know.
I'll be very excited to see if they keep those two, maybe get another defender.
Oh, sorry, no. Brighton and West Ham are probably together. I'm forgetting West Ham at 8th.
Keeping West Ham there.
Chelsea,
They push in.
a big 8.
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah.
like
Yeah, they're big 8.
They're going to finish top 8.
But it's a big 8 now, which is crazy.
It's definitely a big 8 because Villa have cemented themselves and Newcastle.
You look at Newcastle and Villa now. It'd be a surprise if they didn't make the top 10. It'd be like, that's a bad season.
Newcastle and Villa. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
so that therefore means they're the big 8.
It's very impressive for Villa, though.
No. It's definitely a big 8. It went from a big 6 to a 7, and Villa have cemented themselves now. It's definitely an 8.
Well, this
Because
is
Villa
where
have had the money, but it's the manager choice. Like, we've got to say, props to Unai Emery. Like,
Like Unai is
he's
top.
a big manager.
He's not world class in my opinion.
I think he's on that like other group under that. Right?
I think Unai is like if Eddie Howe was to do what he does now, if Eddie Howe was to
5 more years.
5 more years and win a couple trophies and he'd be same sort of group there.
Exactly the same, yeah.
Like is Poch above Unai?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably same level,
Probably
eh?
not.
Yeah, same level.
Probably same level.
Same bracket, but if you had to individually rank
Unai's
him,
better.
Unai's ahead.
Unai's better.
Trophies, man.
Same bracket. Unai's better.
Yeah.
I think the only ones in my opinion who are above Unai definitely is probably Jurgen and Klopp. I think Arteta ends up being above him, but he's not there yet, in my opinion. I think
He can't be there yet. No.
he's not there yet.
Yeah.
I think Arteta.
But they're saying the bracket right now.
He will.
They're not
Same bracket,
Arteta's
but I
not
think-
below him.
No, Arteta's not below him.
Yeah,
But no, he's not.
They're saying
He's
bracket.
not.
Come on, they're saying bracket.
Just Arteta
Unai failed
hasn't won
Arsenal.
anything.
No,
though.
but Unai
That's the
failed
problem.
Arsenal completely. Arteta hasn't, man. Like
Arteta picked that squad up and won FA Cup the season after.
he hasn't won
Yeah,
anything.
true.
Arteta is at a bit of a crossroads
He's
now.
at crossroads.
And he really needs to, for the sake of his legacy at the club and what happens at
something
Arsenal, we need to win something big soon.
Yeah.
But this is where I was touching on the other day. I think it's just the Premier League has so much more depth than every other league. I don't think it's necessarily the top end talent of the Premier League is better than the top end talent of other leagues. I think that's the best way to explain it, because no other league obviously has depth to have the big 8.
The depth of the league is definitely
way better, way better. It's like significantly better.
Like jump into
these
other
big
leagues.
8 teams who finish top 10 in every other league.
Yeah,
definitely.
As in, like,
top 5 probably.
This league in the Bundesliga, well, no, as in the 8 teams. Okay, maybe Chelsea besides Chelsea this year. You would bank on 7 of them finishing top 10 every year. Like, this year in the Bundesliga, it'd be Bayern and Leverkusen that finish above, right?
I'll let you finish, but the thing I like about, and because I watch a lot more because I have to do the other show, the leagues are more competitive. I think that's the thing where it's more watchable, it's more competitive, and maybe...
What do you mean?
Like in terms of you look at the Bundesliga, the gap from 12th to 20th is 4 points. Serie A, the gap from 11th to the top quality teams, I think are better at the moment.
On any given day, okay, maybe the bottom 3, but on any given day, there feels like the top 10, one top 10 team could beat any other top 10 team.
I think it's shown though, because I'll tell you how it's been shown. West Ham last year finished 16th
and won the conference.
And then won the conference league. And that shows it, which shows that the Premier League's depth of teams is substantially better than every other league. We're talking about teams such as Bournemouth, such as Fulham, who aren't top 10 Premier League teams, who would go finish probably top 10, top 8 in all the other leagues. That's where I think the difference is. Yeah. I don't think the difference goes with, because I still think if Bayern came to the Premier League, they'd finish top 4.
Yes.
I think even like an Inter
You
would
say
finish.
that yes, but they'd finish. They probably.
Bayern's worst year this year. I think they still finished top 4.
No, I know, but I think they finished top 4. But you say it as in it's a shoe-in, whereas I think they could easily have finished 4th.
That's still top 4.
Yeah,
but I'm saying you're saying it's like the way you said it. I was kind of thinking as if you were saying, they finish first or second every year.
I feel like they've been
this
in the
year
top
with
3
Liverpool,
every
City, and Arsenal. I feel like
I think they're in that bracket as well, fighting.
We're nitpicking the 1 year that these 2 teams are incredible and Bayern's at their worst for 20 years.
Yeah, well, no.
That's the thing,
I get it, but it's in okay, so Bayern top 4, and then Leverkusen this year, and then what?
In the Italian league, I think Inter definitely
top 4.
Yes.
Yeah,
probably.
I think
Inter
Italian
probably
league's
best
actually
team.
one of the leagues that has a lot of depth. Like
it's
you're talking
cool,
about Roma in 6 that has a wealth
Serie
of
A does have
quality.
a lot of depth.
It's got a wealth of quality. Like Dybala's back to like nearly prime Dybala.
Dybala's killing it.
The
right?
way he's
PSG
playing,
finished top 4. Like,
PSG do, and probably Barca and Real
No,
do.
not Barca. Real do.
Real do.
Barca are not better than Arsenal, Liverpool, and City.
No, but they're better than Aston Villa and Tottenham.
But Real finished 4th.
Okay, well, let's say they came
first,
as
second,
one.
or third, but they finished top 4.
Let's say they came in just by
I think La
themselves,
Liga has
Real.
really gone downhill. Like, to be honest.
I can agree.
I'll put it this way.
Barca are just not that.
I think Real, Atletico, and Barca all finished top 6.
Yeah, absolutely. Trust me, they would finish top 6.
I don't
Barca are bad, but they still finish top 6.
I think Real is probably the only one that finishes. Real is probably you're right, the only one that finishes top 4. But then Atletico and Barca take 5th.
I think it's just once again like sleeping on Villa. Like, I just think that's the way it is.
I don't think we are. Like, we watch them week in, week out, and we see what they're doing. They're absolutely great side.
No,
but when
you see them versing,
yeah, maybe next year will be different.
Villa have taken 6 points from Arsenal and 3 points from City.
But
they can do it against the big
then
boys.
they lost 0. Then they took 0 points from United.
I know, but it's in like.
But it's more the point that Arsenal then lost to, like, and this is where our conversation stemmed from. That Arsenal lost to Bayern's worst team in 20 years, but PSG would run over these guys, and Barca would probably run. Like, that's where it comes from.
Our worst game was against Bayern. Like, our worst game this year was Bayern at home. Like that's like the worst we played all year.
Like, I got a genuine question.
I don't take. I know it's 2 legs, but I don't take a lot from a sample size of 2 games where we lose one game 1-0. And I don't know. I look at the 38 games, how solid we've been defensively. I think we had a stinker at home that day. I don't know.
Okay, so we always talk about like progressive football. We always talk about like Brexit football, this type of stuff.
Yeah, the comparison.
So we know that like Pep and Arteta's works in a league competition. But do you think that like substance of football works in the Champions League?
He won the Champions League last year.
Yeah, okay, they
Inter
won one.
and Man
Yeah,
City
but we're
both
talking
played
about a
exact same
City
style.
team
He won the Champions
that
League
everyone
last year.
says is the best team in the world
And Madrid,
for the last 5
they
years.
spanked Madrid the entire game and should have won.
Yeah, but is that not a point that in
they
one-off
should have
games?
won.
But no, but is that
Look,
not a point in one-off games?
I understand where you're coming from,
No,
but this is a part of like a player's mentality and just to get like a together. Like,
I
the
know
reason
they didn't win,
the
but,
reason
like-
Real won was their mentality and their togetherness and playing together was like they've done it more often than
Because their
Man City have
game
done it.
plan suits cup competitions more.
But they're also
City make the Carabao Cup a piss take competition every season. What do you mean cup competitions? They won the treble last year.
But is that not because the teams that don't play like progressive
just think-
football in the Premier
I just
League
think-
are so much worse than the
I
teams
also
that don't
think
play
what
progressive
it takes
football
to
in
win
the Champions
I
League?
think what it takes to win the Prem takes more out of teams than what it takes to win the Bundesliga.
I'm not saying it doesn't.
So I think it takes away from your cup competition ability because you need to be because you can't just like Bayern can't just like if Bayern played in the Prem, they would have to verse a hard team every second week compared to a hard team every 5 weeks.
But the problem is, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing.
If
but
you have 10
in the
good teams in the
Champions
Prem,
League,
then every second week you're versing a
you
top
can
team.
snatch and grab in the Champions League. Which what I'm trying to say is
This is what I'm saying. Is in if the Champions League is like way higher up your priority list for Madrid and Bayern and all these other teams compared to like it's obviously up the priority list, but in terms of you have to put a lot more effort into the Prem week in week out than you do at the Champions League. Whereas
this year they do.
This year they do.
But in previous years when City's gone away and won the league by 25 points, where United was second and stuff like that, they still didn't push on and win the Champions League.
Yeah, but Pep's had his issues with City. No, I know what you're saying.
No, but I'm just saying Pep's had his issues apart from a prime Barca. He's had his issues with the Champions League itself.
I think it's a combination of the two though, because like you said, to play Premier League and then to correlate that to Champions League is much harder than what we think. I think maybe that's more the point because teams can play snatch grab and because it's difficult in the Prem.
But this has been proven as
Yeah.
well.
But
Not even
these
the Prem.
teams know, these other teams across the other leagues know how to manage games much better. When Real were down 2-0 to the bottom side Almeria in La Liga, who have not won a game all year, they still manage a way to get through and get the win, like City do, but they do that more often. They find a way to do some things more often.
The snatch and grab thing against a City team is really,
But
really
it's not even
prevalent.
as a
They
City
can- they're
team. And
more
I've got
adaptable.
a bit more evidence
They're a
to back up
possession-based
what I'm
team.
trying
Yeah,
to say.
yeah.
Is you got to look at the last 15 years in La Liga. Barca's won the league well more than Real. Real seem to always be better than Barca, even in matchups in the Champions League.
They're adaptable. They've always been adaptable.
It's because all I'm asking is, I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I'm saying doesn't snatch and grab and work a lot better in the Champions League than it does in the league.
Because it's also like, if you have a bunch of like, okay, more individual-minded players, which probably Real have had historically over instead of Barca, right? Then you just need these guys to come together for 90 minutes once, like, you know, I don't know, 8 times a year compared to 40 times a year or 38.
Well, yeah, that's my point. I'm just saying,
I understand.
Does like the expansive football work as well in the Premier League as it does, in the Champions League?
Correlation's harder.
To the Premier League. Because we know it works in the Premier League. Yeah. I'm just saying, does the correlation in the Premier League translate to the correlation in the Champions League?
And that's where I think the Premier League's still lacking in terms of the ability for these teams to go and adapt a little bit, just tweak a few things to go and win Champions League. Because Ancelotti will go play, he played Camavinga left back last night against Barca. 2 nights ago, he played Mendy left back. And then Mendy was playing holding midfield 2 weeks ago. Last night he played centre back next to Rudiger.
We've been yapping today. Yeah.
So that's the difference. These teams, they're winners for a reason because they're adaptable and they have players that can adapt to game situation a bit better. Final game, Liverpool beat Fulham 3-1. Liverpool finally finished some chances.
Oh, Liverpool went down though, didn't
they? They went up and they equalised 1-1 at half time. That's right. They finally finished their chances.
On the edge of half time.
It's literally the exact same game as the last 5 weeks. They just finally started to score goals. And what a surprise, Salah and Nunez were benched. So. All right, winners and losers for this week. Do you guys shall I go first?
You go first.
I would win at Aston Villa. Big turnaround versus Bournemouth after trailing. And then losers Luton because I feel like the momentum's just all come to a halt.
Trying to think. This is probably the hardest one.
I lose this is FA Cup at Coventry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There could be a win at the same time because everyone's
I know,
giving all the
but
respect.
I really feel like loser. I really feel like that's a loser.
That's made me think.
I feel like society lost as a whole. Yeah. I just think society lost as a whole. You know. Oh, Mark Goldbridge should have been a loser when he tweeted. Did he see his tweet? Congrats to you know, who wants to sack Ten Hag
now?
Back-to-back FA Cup finals.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden,
oh my god, man! I'll tell you what, though, the guy that first missed the pen for Coventry, so the guy that was their third pen,
the one that saved.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
you just knew he was missing the whole way in.
His face coming up to it was.
Did you see? He was like sprinting to the spot, like, you know, he was fast walking, but like. You can just tell, like, you know.
He's a good penalty taker as well, man. He's a good penalty. I was surprised he missed.
I had no faith in that, brother. I swear to God, I had zero. Compared to, like, the guys, who scored their first one? What's his name? Black guy?
Was it Wright? Wright scored the first one? Or
I don't know. The one who scored the last goal. The one who scored their pen.
Right. Scored the goal.
Right. Does he, like, bag in Coventry?
He's scored 3 in the last sort of 6-7 games, I think. Okay, he's been decent for.
But, yeah, he looks way more confident. Anyway, so I'm going to go my losers Coventry because it was so close. So close.
Just humbling United fans.
My winners, I don't know. You go.
So my losers is Chelsea / Nicholas Jackson.
Oh, what a stinker, man. He's stinky.
Well, like the chances he had, like how did he even miss that one? Like there was which one I'm talking about? The
through on goal one.
Yeah, like and not that he just missed. Like Bloke just passed it straight into like.
That's just a player low on confidence. That is such low confidence.
Crazy.
Because you want it on target.
10 Prem goals.
He stinks.
Yeah, but remember he got that hat trick against United.
Tottenham, you mean?
Oh, Tottenham, sorry.
Yeah. That type of shot is like a player so low on confidence. You just need it on target. Get it on target. I don't want to miss it. Don't want to miss it. Yeah.
And then winner is like me not having a heart attack on the United.
Yeah, fair enough.
I had a pretty bad week so far this week with sport. So
winner. Just need to secure something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Winner. Yeah, let's go Brentford.
Yeah, big up Brentford. Big up Thomas Frank.
Yeah, let's go Brentford.
All those knobs you questioned him.
I feel like Brentford have been a little bit shaky away from home this year. Like, haven't been able, I don't know. It just feels like Brentford.
They've got their mojo back, I feel like.
Yeah, they've got their mojo back a little bit. And
Tom Frank ball.
And that was a banger from your hand, so
Franco ball.
Win at Brentford.
Franco ball going to the moon.
Beautiful.
Good week. Great waffle. This is what you're in store for, guys, before the Euros.
Yeah, well, I think it's...
Casuals on the couch.
The casuals are absolutely back.
There's been a lot going on. We haven't been able to waffle a little bit, so we've been getting
the structure's been lost a little bit.
Yeah.
And now look what happens.
It's all built up to this one occasion.
And we end up talking about the top 5 leagues and...
A-League and...
A-League came up.
This isn't casuals on the couch anymore.
This is wafflers on the couch. Wafflers on the couch. Rebrand.
Yeah.
Rebrand in store. Thanks for coming on, boys. Thank you for tuning in once again. Like, comment, subscribe. 5 stars on Spotify. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Myself and Nathan. Until next time, guys. See you guys later. Peace.